Is Morghur the Shadowgave any good? Morghur is essentially chaos given temporary corporeal form, constantly mutating and basically Beastmen Moses, in the same way Tehenuin is that for the Lizardmen. If you like snuffing out goodness, bunnies, and teddy bears, Morghur's your guy. Please like, subscribe, comment, and consider donating to my coffee page. And yes, bunnies and teddy bears are great in real life. We're talking about a game. Compared to a Beast Lord, Morghur has much more HP at 6092, much less armor at 15, missile resistance of 75. Wow, that's a lot. That's 9 vulnerability, the sort I said didn't exist for a lot of large single entities or Gorbols. Spell resistance is 25% out of the gate. Leadership is a little bit better at 75, and speed is almost identical, 13.9. Melee attack is actually less at 55, but Morghur inflicts poison with every attack. Attack interval is a standard 4, and max splash targets damaged is 8, same as the Beast Lord on foot and unusually large, making him a chaff killer. Melee defense is 45, very decent. Weapon strength is 400, heavily tilted towards base damage with 300 to armor piercing of 100. Charge bonus is 56, a tiny bit less, and mass is 1200, which is more than a Beast Lord's certainly. Morghur is immune to psychology, as in fear and terror. He has the old style of regeneration, with a 20% weakness to fire. Besides Woodsman and Hidden Forest, Morghur has the power Spirit Essence of Chaos, which all but insta-kills a unit, not a lord, not a hero, 20% or less HP within 50 meters, replacing that unit with a Chaos Spawn unit upon death, which fights for your side until it degrades. This is free, you cannot manually trigger it, and it's just part of the package. So, ganging up on one unit produces chaotic results. Good to know. As a faction leader of the War Herd of the Shadowgave, Morghur gets +4 to his unit capacity for Chaos Spawn, allowing him to get more just by getting the building to recruit them. Gets +8 casualty replenishment for all armies, which is definitely strong. +3 to Chaos Undivided Corruption with all characters, and -15% for Horde building construction costs for all armies. As a Lord, his raiding stance turns into Despoiler raiding stance, spreading corruption, and attrition. His army is immune to Athel-Lorn attrition. Morghur will not be wounded for more than one turn whenever that he is wounded. Chaos Undivided Corruption is jacked up +5 per turn for free, and the entire army gets 20% spell resistance. Now, this Aura of Vile Transmutation causes direct damage to combatants. If Total War Planner describes it accurately, it does more than Unending Flock of Doom, but only does the damage to 4 models in a unit at one time, until they die, obviously. It's still free damage, and it still is proportionately higher the more chaff units are close to him. That, and with his own regeneration, Morghur is hurting while healing himself. Morghur gets the standard melee lore lines, so he becomes faster, he hits harder, all that good stuff as you go. He becomes able to use Fueled by Blood, Voice of the Dark Gods, and Blood Lust. So what about his personal line? How does he become more special? Ardor of Fury grants Primal Fury to all units in the army, even those that would not normally receive it. Naturally, this applies to Chaos Spawn. Abstraction of Tzeentch upgrades the Aura of Madness ability on Jabberslythe units to increase the damage over time effect. Also, Chaos Spawn gain Horrible Regeneration, which is similar to Morghur's own, but can restore models in the unit unless the battle has already been decided, and the army loses penalty isn't applied. They do get the 20% fire weakness, so that's why the regeneration is horrible. I half jest. Also, Centaurs, Chaos Spawn, and Jabberslythe get +8 melee defense. Also, those 3 unit types gain 15% weapon strength. So yeah, this is the Lord where the Centaur buffs are hiding. Force for Change increases attrition casualties for enemy forces by 33% and increases income from raiding by 20%, which gives you an incentive to throw blue line buffs at this as well. Also, keep in mind, Malagor the Dark Omen eliminates all casualty replenishment within the same region. Food for thought. Herald of Corruption gives him 15% more movement range and grants Chaos Undivided Corruption in adjacent provinces of +3. And I understand this wasn't working until patch 3.0, but should be working now. Profane Blessings has 3 levels, and I'll cover that more in a bit. Touch of Corruption grants a debuff to units stuck in melee for 10 seconds, and basically acts like Flock of Doom on the unit for the duration. All you need to do is keep him alive and keep him hitting units, especially Chaff. He does work. You have the Beast Lord 2 paths, giving you an option to boost the entire army's weapon strength or the entire army's missile defense. Up to you, but either way, these are on top of the previous boosts. Also, missile resistance caps at 90%, so Shadow Hide or Rune of the True Beast, but probably not both. So, back to Profane Blessings. These act like banners and can affect non-character units. The Blessing of Filth grants horrible regeneration, 15% physical resistance, and minus 30% speed. Yes, that's a penalty to that unit. This has the potential to resurrect dead combatants if live combatants are healed. Blessing of Trickery enables armor-sundering attacks, stock, and unspottable for even better stock at the cost of 30 armor. Blessing of Mania offers plus 20 charge bonus, plus 45% speed, which is pretty insane depending on what you stick this on, but sticks the unit with Rampage, the old kind, so that it will go out of control once damaged. There are no limitations on what units you can put these on except they can't be Morghur or heroes. Now, what may not be immediately apparent is that purchasing these banners also provides Morghur with abilities that are drawn from the Chalice of Chaos, one use each. Demonic Strength adds plus 50% for 22 seconds to the character, Dark Fortune grants 20% ward save for 57 seconds, Regenerating Flesh provides a super heal over the course of 33 seconds. Suffice to say, these are pretty nice personal buffs for Morghur too. Despite not being able to cast spells, his campaign form has its barrel of tricks, and you can do some really evil things with those blessings. I mean, what if you put the Rampage one on something that already has Rampage? Or how about something fast, but what you always want in the thick of things regardless? So this is where I usually cover the legendary quest items. You have a good old-fashioned brawl with the Wood Elves to earn this stave, so come prepared. Your reward for getting the Stave of Ruinous Corruption is unit capacity for spawn plus 2, which will help even as a Confederated Lord, Chaos Undivided Corruption plus 5 for the Lord's army, turning Morghur into even more of a corruption machine, melee attack plus 6, enables magical attacks, and allows a free summon of Chaos Spawn at will once per battle. This is a multiplayer staple. Well, now that they've worked out some kinks in his mechanics, we have an on-foot Beast Lord who can never ever get a mount, who has limited speed compared to others for that reason, who has a damaging aura, but which isn't so ridiculous it'll win the battle for you, earns a Flock of Doom effect for free just from damaging units, and he corrupts, warps, and damages just from, existing. That's what we want to see from Morghur, so the thematic power is high. The thing is, aside from Chaos Spawn, his army compositions are pretty open-ended. Chaos Spawn can completely take the place of, let's say, Gore Herds for you, with Ungors helping where appropriate, but in theory, Ungor Raiders can do a lot of damage to your own spawn. I hear that the knock on Spawn isn't that their on-paper value is bad, but that their animations do a lot of in-position flailing, not the murder roll that the Minotaurs love to do. Well, I'm used to those animations with other factions Spawn as well. They're still useful units, you just have to work around the weaknesses. The bonuses to Centaurs provide a way. I say Centaurs because Jabber Slice are an endgame thing. Since your Centaurs brawl even better for Morghur, and they have that whole Perfect Vigor thing going, you can try to use them to clear the size and isolate a battle line. 15% more weapon strength is going to add up fast. What's missing from this? Yeah, basically 3 things. Bonuses to melee attack, bonuses to defense, magic. Oh, and one more thing you should keep in mind. Anti-large. So you want at least one Gorbel. You want at least one Bray Shaman to take advantage of wins and for potential Cygor summons. You want the Man Rippers RR or at least use Centaurs with throwing axes or great weapons. And if the latter are boosted enough, then they're almost as good as dedicated anti-large. What's the flip side? You are going to absolutely decimate massed infantry, and even the targets Morghur can't hurt much directly will be hurt indirectly. You are going to rip and tear through normal forces with the spawn being too fast, too strong, and with too much mass to stop them properly. You are going to wreck face in places you aren't supposed to be able to. You will also take high amounts of HP casualties, so yeah, you might want a Wargore 2 at some point. Having said all this, being able to waltz into a province, get into the spoiler rating stance, and make models die just from your existence is a very powerful thing. So what you really want to do is to fight weakened opponents. An army is half damaged? Send a spare gore bowl to attack the army further. An army tries to escape? Hinder its replenishment so it can't heal the next turn outside the province you're corrupting. Be creative. And best of all, yeah, keep another army around to catch anybody trying to mug you to bring the corruption to an end. That helps too. Take care, and have fun being the blackest thumb in Warhammer. Some treatment need pruning, okay?